Hello. Hello, friends. If you can hear and see me, would you just do that thing where you send me a chat message so that I know? Hello. Yay, great. It sounds like you can see me and hear me. Yay. Then I am going to disappear for just a minute and grab a stack of paper, and I will be right back. And we'll get started in, 5 minutes. Hooray. I'm back. Sorry I ran away from all of you. By all of you, I mean, not that many of you. But we have a couple minutes left. I'm just sitting here deleting all the emails. Hello. We'll leave just a minute for the stragglers. I'm going to keep it casual today. Then I'll start talking. All right, it's right around that time, so we'll go ahead and start talking. Welcome, it's week, or I guess class 7 of this, and we're taking a break from chapters because you guys have been working super duper hard on that to talk about the slate and stylus. So the question I heard was, how hard will it be to, right off the bat, how hard will it be to follow today without a slate and stylus? So obviously you won't be able to practice without one of them. And if you are a new certification, so if you are taking the full Washington State UEB exam, you must have one of these to take the test. There is a section, you must pass it. It involves only producing on the slate and stylus. Today, you'll get a lot of information if you don't have one of them. Obviously, if I give you, practice tasks, you won't be able to do that. So that will, minimize your ability to practice. And you must track one down in order to take the full UEB test. So you have to have one to take the full UEB test. There's no way around that. They are not super duper hard to obtain. You can get them if you need to order one from a place like American Printing House for the Blind. There may even be free ones through the NFB still. They are not super expensive. I think I bought my slate that I use at home for like $8 or something, and that was shipped free. So they are, not super hard to get, which is part of the benefit of them. And you should hang out and learn and hear what we say, because the principles are going to be the same, but you need one to take the test, and you should have practiced with one before you go in to use it on the test, because it is not the easiest thing in the world. Does anyone else have any questions about general sort of Braille class stuff or things like that before we dive into talking about the slate and stylus? Cool. I have a couple of videos that I'm going to show you guys today, and also we're going to just talk through it. I'll show you what I've got here. I want to start out by showing you just this really brief introductory video from the American Foundation for the Blind. They do good stuff, and they have a really cool set of videos on YouTube about Braille writing devices, including the slate and stylus. So as long as I can figure out how to get it to play full screen, which I bet I can if I hit this button. And then if I go over here and I hit that and that and that.
Braille writing devices, slate and stylus. The slate and stylus are inexpensive mechanical and portable tools that enable users to write Braille just as pencil and paper are used for writing print. It's the
Is it working for everyone? Do you guys, can you see it and stuff? Should I make it big? Should I make it big? Should I make it big? Who's to say? Sorry, you have to listen to the screen reader. Doing things on Zoom is the worst. There. Now let's go.
The oldest Braille writing method available and was invented by Louis Braille himself. When the inventor began to create Braille, he used an awl to punch dots into paper. Over time, the awl shape was modified into a stylus tipped with metal and equipped with a pear-shaped or saddle-shaped handle for ease of use. Slate and stylus devices are available in a variety of shapes and sizes. Size is determined by how many lines the slate has available and how many cells there are in each line. Most often, slates consist of two flat pieces of metal or plastic hinged together on one side and containing 4 rows of 28 Braille cells. They range from single-line slates with one short line of Braille to full-page slates that will cover an entire sheet of paper. Users open the slate and clamp a sheet of paper between the two flat surfaces. The uppermost panel has rows of rectangular shapes stamped into it and tiny scallops that form the edges of these rectangles. The lower panel is covered with 6 dot rectangles pressed into the metal and pointing downward. The indentations in the slate are the same shape and size as a Braille cell, and they prevent the stylus from punching a hole in the paper when the dots are embossed. The stylus consists of a piece of pointed metal with a plastic or wooden handle. Users emboss Braille by pressing the tip of the stylus down through the rectangular opening. The scallops along the edges of the stylus help users to align the tip with the dot beneath as they apply pressure to emboss Braille on the paper. Since Braille is read from left to right with the dots raised, a slate and stylus requires users to punch the Braille dots into the paper from right to left. Desk slates are great for beginners who have trouble moving the slate down the paper. They are really easy to use. Whichever types of devices users decide to buy, a slate and stylus will provide them with an inexpensive and convenient tool for writing Braille.
Copyright
So that's a little bit of basic introductory stuff about the slate and stylus. They are old. They are relatively useful. So, sorry, I will share the link for you guys for the video. I hope it worked, but screen is blocked. That's so weird. Sorry about that. I hope it was able to be heard at least. I don't know why that happens. It could be a thing with my computer. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for you guys and I will just show you stuff. How about that? Oh. Sorry about that. Glad you heard it. Hearing it's the important part, but that's the link if you want to see it. And I will figure out why that happened next time. So as the guy in the video was talking about, slate and stylus, they come in a bunch of different sizes. So the first thing I'd like for you to do is take a look at the slate you have. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this part with all the rectangular holes in it. We're gonna look at that side and we're gonna look at that and call it the top. And we're gonna count one line. So we're gonna count how many lines do we have. On mine I have 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. And we're gonna count how many cells. So that's the number of rectangles on a line. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. If yours has these little dots raised between the lines like mine does, you will be able to use those to count by 5s. So like the guy in the video said, this is a pretty standard 28 by 4 lines, 28 cells. For the UEB test in Washington, you need at least 28 cells. You need a 28 cell slate. They make smaller slates. You don't want that. You can have more lines, but you need 28 cells. So like we heard on the video, this is the top part and this is the bottom part. So the top part is the one with all the rectangles. The bottom part is pretty solid. If you have a metal one, you might be able to see sort of where the Braille cells would come out. Each of the rectangles is going to be a Braille cell. So you can use the stylus, which is the pointy guy, to poke holes in a rectangle, and you can find each of the 6 places that a hole could go. And by poking in, you will press against paper. We'll talk about paper in a minute. You'll press against the back side of what will end up being the reading paper to make the holes. So the thing with the slate, you have to Braille backwards to read forwards. So when we talk about loading our paper and Brailing with our slate, we're going to be loading it in and writing from the right. And I don't know how this works on the video, but we're going to write from the right to the left so that we can read from the left, because if that's the back, I'm staring at the front. So if you can see the back, I can see the front of the paper. So when I poke up from the back of the paper, it will come out on the front side. You also have to put the dots 1, 2, and 3 on the right side of the cell, and you have to put dots 4, 5, and 6 on the left side of the cell. That's the part that will just haunt your dreams. It's hard. There is a cheat way. At the very end of today, I'm going to tell you guys, not a cheat. It's not a cheat. You're allowed to do it. I'm going to tell you a way to make sure that you get your slate and stylus correct, but you also just need to know how to do it. People talk a lot about the slate and stylus compared to the pen and paper or the pencil and paper. For a visually impaired person, the slate and stylus gives you the same freedom to manually produce writing that you can read as the pencil and paper. And yes, most of your students will probably just tell you, this is stupid, I have a phone. Phones die, slates don't. Phones are expensive, slates are not. I don't ever use one day to day, and I'm a Braille reader, but I am very fortunate to have technology and very fortunate to own like a Perkins Brailler. If I need to do that, I'm very fortunate. There are a lot of people for whom this is a really fast and important tool. I'm not one of them, but that is why it is part of your assessment. So what I have here is honestly just card stock, because we're going to use 8.5 by 11 paper to Braille on. And if you don't have 8.5 by 11 Braille paper, I just grabbed some card stock. To set up the 8.5 by 11 paper, we're going to take our piece of paper, and I hope that this is visible to you. I really don't know for a fact. And you can open the 2 sections of your slate. It clamps together. You'll notice when you open it, by the way, that there are 4 little holes or 4 little pins on the bottom part, the part where all the cells go. The part you'll be poking into, the part that ends up being the front of the paper. Those hold your slate, and they also help you line it up to make your next line of Braille when it's time to start again. So we're going to open the slate with the hinge on our right side so that we can set our paper into it. We're going to try and go close to the top. It doesn't super matter how close you get to the top. Obviously, the more close to the top you get, the better you can do in terms of saving space or using the full page. And what we're going to do is we line the paper up so that the edge of the paper, the right edge of the paper, lines up with that hinge. You try and get it straight, and then we're going to close the top of the slate onto the bottom of the slate. So now what you should be looking at is a piece of paper with the top of your slate with all the rectangles. You should be able to see the paper through there. And we're going to have the hinge on the right side of our paper, and that gives you a consistent margin. When we Braille, because we have to start, so this is obviously the way the paper would read. When we flip it over to Braille on, we have to start on our right side. So we start by the hinge. So what we're going to do is use the first line of our paper just to practice what this feels like. So as you feel in the holes in these rectangles, If you feel with the edge of the stylus, you can also aim it by sight if that's a thing that works for you. You should be able to feel little grooves on each side that help you line up with the top, middle, or bottom dot on each side. And don't forget, as we go across, you're doing left side dots before right side dots. So as you're gonna read it, you're doing your left side dots, your 1, 2, and 3s, then your right side dots, your 4, 5, and 6. Then you go to the next cell, left, right, next cell, left, right. I stole that description from Mangold, but it is a really effective way to think about that. So the first thing we're gonna do is just take a minute here and we're going to slate. Yes. So this is the part where I will be writing. I'll show it to the screen real quick. That was the question. So the part where I'm going to be writing, I'm going to start up here in the top right section, close to my hinge, because the actual dots will come up on the other side. So the top of your slate has holes that are rectangles to braille the cells into, and the back of your slate should be fairly solid, and that's where the braille will come up. So this is the top left of my page, which means I have to start right here. So what we're going to do is use our slate and stylus, hold it in whatever way is comfortable to you. Obviously, there's a right way and a right way ergonomically, the same way there's a right way and a wrong way to hold a pencil. I don't care if you can make dots. If you can make dots, good. This takes more effort than you expect. So set your slate down on your table here, and we're just going to start in the top right and go all the way across. So we're going to make 28 full cells just to feel what it's like. So I'm doing left, 1, 2, 3, and then right, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going right to left, but on each cell, I'm starting with the stuff that should be on the left side as you picture it. So I'm doing top, middle, bottom, and then I'm going back up and doing top, middle, bottom. Top, middle, bottom, top, middle, bottom, new cell, top, middle, bottom, new cell, etc. You should make me 28 of these guys all across that first line. There are people who can slate so fast, it astonishes me. And Wayne says if you need a slate, he may have an extra one at home that he could share with someone in need of slate. They are also things that if you are working as a TVI, they are like quota fund type stuff. They are, you can just buy stuff from APH. They're not super hard to obtain. I actually think you can get them on Amazon probably. We're starting with full cells because as long as you poke all of the holes, and you're not poking through the paper, you're poking the paper into its little catch on the back. So you'll feel that as you get over where the dot should be, it goes all the way through. Whereas if you're not there, it doesn't.
Amazon has slate and styluses for as low as $10.
Yeah. Amazon has the slates for $10. What don't they have at Amazon? On my last cell, but I started before you guys, so. Yours is, so Donna, you said yours is poking holes all the way through. Did you close your slate so that the lower part is behind where you're poking? Okay. Okay, so obviously, I mean, like holes are good. You don't ideally want to go all the way through, but if they're small enough holes, that's basically what Braille is. So once you finish your full cell, what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna open the slate. So you can lift up from over here, open it, lift the paper off of the pegs, and flip it over, and see your beautiful handiwork. Here's what I made. Thin paper will do that too. Yeah, thin paper can cause holes. Poke slightly more gently, perhaps. It could be a speed, like if you, it could be a jab versus a press kind of thing too. They just take a little more deliberate pressure as opposed to jackhammering it in there. So hopefully when you take your paper off of the holes and flip it over, you will have a beautiful row of 28 full cells. We're going to put the paper back on once you've checked that. If I'm going too quickly, let me know. Do you guys still need some time to finish making full cells? Yay! I'm so glad it's pretty. Do you guys need more time for full cells, or should we move on to hard things? Let's move on. So we're going to take our paper, put it face down, and what you can actually do, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, if you line the 4 holes back up, you'll be in the exact same place you were. So if you catch those 4 pins right back in their holes and close it back on itself, you will be perfectly lined up to Braille on your second line. And on our second line, we are going to write the alphabet. So remember that you have to put the dots that should show up on the left side, dots 1, 2, and 3, on the right side of each rectangle. So for the letter A, I'm going to my second line, my second rectangle, or my second line, first rectangle. I'm going to put 1 dot, my dot 1, in the top right corner of that rectangle. For B, I'm going to go to that next rectangle, find the top and the middle of the right side. For C, I'm going to do both of my top dots. All right, it's really hard. It's like hard to do this backwards. So for D, we need dots 1, 4, and 5. So, is that right? I'm doing this like 3 levels of backwards. It's freaking me out. It is right. So we're gonna put the top right, nothing else on the right side, nothing else on our first side, and our second side, top and middle. Top and middle. Go ahead and finish the rest of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. B, C, D. It really helps me to think about doing the first side and then the second side. finished my alphabet, so I'm going to see if I made any mistakes. Will I be posting last week's practice sentences was the question. The answer is, yeah, sure. I'll email them to you guys later. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Oh, I did P, Q, and R backwards. Stop, must have gotten distracted. S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Yep, I did P, Q, and R backwards. Who can do fewer wrong than me? Since I'm teaching. If you can get fewer than 3 backwards, you've done better than the teacher. Yes, thinking of it like looking in the mirror works too, yes. Linnea, did you mean to share your screen with us?
My O is an R, but other than that, I got everything else right.
Woo!
I guess dyslexia helps a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I got 100. Good job. 100%. Good job. Excellent. A lot of hundreds I'm seeing. Good job, you guys. So the next thing, I'm going to give you another challenge so you can reset yourself back up in there if you would like. Well, if you don't, then this will be a pretty boring couple of minutes for you. We're going to re-sticker our slates back through the holes like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, and close it. On that third line, what I'd like for us to write are the numbers 1 through 9. Do I have enough for that? 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, so we have room for 1 through 9. So each one needs a number sign. Each one needs a number, but don't put punctuation. Do put a space between them. So number sign and then the number and then a space. 1 through 9. Keep in mind that the number sign starts with 1 dot on the bottom of the left side, the first side, and all the dots on the bottom of the, or all the dots on the second side. Finished mine. That one I did all of them right. Good job, me. Woo! Someone help me remember real quick off the top of your head. Did we learn the contraction for AR? We did, didn't we? So when you take the actual UEB test in Washington, you will braille some directions. Like to a place. Before we get to that, I'm going to give you just a couple of sentences. So when you reload your paper, what I need for you to do is, instead of reloading it exactly the same way that you've been putting it in, we're going to put the top holes of our slate in the bottom holes of our paper so that we can go down some lines. So when you line your top holes up in your bottom holes like that, when you close it, you'll be ready to make new dots. And they will be the correct distance away from the old dots. So we're going to do that so that we have 4 fresh lines. So you'll have left a blank line up there. And I'm going to give you guys a list of 4 little sentences to write, little affirmations. So on those lines, we are going to write on the first line, number 1 with a period, do your best. Number 2 on the second line, don't quit.
Do we indent?
Oh, good question. Let's not indent. Let's do them like a list. So we'll do 1, do your best, period. Then next line 2, don't quit, period. Next line 3, try hard, period. And next line 4, never stop, exclamation points, 3 of them. Never stop, 3 exclamation points. You still have to use contracted Braille. If it's too late and you've already started indenting, then you're fine. Continue to indent. Do not remember whether they ask you to indent your stuff on the UAB test or not. They will tell you what format they want everything you do in, though. So. You'll discover muscles you never knew existed and you never wanted to know existed doing this. Or if you don't, please don't tell me about it, because I did, and I would like for that to be a universal thing. Luckily, you will not have a huge amount for the Braille test. You have to do it. It has to be, good and correct. But you do not have to do like pages or paragraphs. You finish your 4 affirmations, you can flip your page over and see if you got them right. See what you see. When you guys, if a couple of you guys send me a message and tell me that you're ready, I will show you what the Braille should look like. Excellent. So our Braille should look like this. So on the first line, we have the number sign and a 1 and a period, a space, and then capital sign, the .6. Do is a alphabetic word sign, and then your is YR, best, BE, and the ST. Sign is a 3, 4 with a period at the end. Number 2, don't, capital D, ON apostrophe T, quit, QUIT, period. Number 3 with a period. Try hard. Hard has the AR sign, the 3, 4, 5, and a D with a period at the end. And 4 is never stop. So never is capital and then N, then a .5E, and then stop has the ST, 3, 4, OP, and then 3 exclamation points, which are 2, 3, 5s. Did you flip anything?
Why? I kept doing Y wrong.
Yeah, I almost did my Y's wrong too. Like I messed those up on one as well. The Y's are hard. I don't know why. Well, yeah. But that one I mess up. Why is it tricky one? I had to think really hard to do the ST signs correctly too. Like the contractions, the ST and the AR. I had to think really hard about how to do those. Yeah. Never chop. That's what you get if you do the ST backwards. most of the challenge with the slate is just producing correct Braille backwards. That's really the hard thing. So I am now, if it's okay with you guys, I am going to give you guys a secret. We could try one more thing. We can give, so you guys tell me what you would like to do, those of you that actually are here today. Would you like another round? I can give you a couple of sentences. We can do that whole thing again. Or would you like me to teach you the secret and send you on your merry way about 15 minutes early? Secret. Secret. 2 votes for secret. The trick with this is that if you would like more practice with the slate, you can always Braille any of the assignments that we do in class on your slate. You can pick any of the assignments out of your book and Braille them on your slate. You now know how to produce Braille with this thing. Keep that skill together. It literally has you do like a list of directions. I believe they are numbered. It's like, you know, turn left at this street and then walk, you know, some blocks and do some whatever. And it's that kind of deal. So it's not a lot of long stuff. You just have to keep up with where you are and what you're doing. So on the UEB test, this is not against the rules so far as I have heard. To make sure that you do this correctly, one way is to pre-Braille your work. So there is nothing stopping you from using a Perkins Brailler. 2, write out the thing you need to write out, make sure your transcription is correct, and look at it while you Braille it on your slate. There is also nothing stopping you from turning that piece of paper over while you look at it and putting it into your slate. So if it's easier for you to transcribe it on a Perkins and figure out all your contractions, get all that stuff right, get the line spacing right, make sure you only Braille 28 cells, because your Perkins will let you Braille more. Make sure you only Braille 28 cells per line. Make sure you only Braille 28 cells per line, but get it right on the Perkins and then just mark that as scratch paper. And, you know, if you happen to look at it backwards. So that is the slate. Like that's how it works. You guys did a great job. Logistics notes. We are off next week because I will be in a dress rehearsal for the Wssb Winter Concert, which is next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and we'll stream live on the school's YouTube in case you want to watch it, by the way. Got a lot of great kids making a lot of cool music. It should be really, really fun. But I will be in dress rehearsal next week, so we have no class. Then we are off for a couple of weeks for the holidays. So I will catch all of you guys again on Wednesday, the 15th of January. So we are not meeting on Wednesday, the 8th of January, because I will be in an IEP meeting. And we are not meeting on Wednesday, the 1st of January, because it's New Year's Day. And we are not meeting on Wednesday, the 25th of December, because it's Christmas Day. And we are not meeting on Wednesday, the 18th of December, because Mr. Dittmar is busy. So I will see you guys for chapter 7 in 2020, which is bananas. I hope you guys have a really great holiday, whatever one of those you celebrate, and that you are working on your Braille, but also that you get some rest and take some time with family and friends and enjoy your break from your jobs. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will catch you guys later.